Hello, it's Jennifer. Today is May 30th and it's time to do my May garden tour. So I'll start here with the shiso. So the shiso is now flowering. I've tried cooking the shiso and tasting it, and I don't like shiso. And I don't think my husband likes it either. So I'm at a crossroads here as to whether I continue to grow this plant. And if I do, that means I'm going to go ahead and cut it back, cut off these flowers, and see if it'll start putting out some green, or I dispose of it. It is a pretty plant when it was green, but we just don't like the taste, and actually I suspect that I might be allergic to it. Since the first time I tasted it, I vomited. So oh look, there's a hummingbird. Hello, little guy. Wow, they usually don't let me get this close. Okay, I guess it's thirsty and doesn't care. Hey, little guy. Oh, hi! Wow, everybody! This is crazy! Calming down from all that excitement, I started pulling the shiso up, and I see here that it's got quite a bit of roots. So maybe I should go ahead and cut it back, but also plant it into the ground since it looks like it needs some more space for its roots, and see if that'll green it back up. Some plants I haven't been highlighting in past videos are my squash and cucumber plants. So here are some now. These are butternut, these big ones here, and then down here is an acorn squash. These haven't been doing so well so far because I've only been getting female flowers, no male flowers. So these little, I guess, primordial fruits, I don't know what else to call them, have been forming and then rotting because they haven't been fertilized. So there's a little rotten nub down there if you can see it. So hopefully soon there'll be some male flowers. Looks like, nope, it's another female. But, you know, we'll see. Anyhow, I grow my pumpkin squashes, you know, acorn squashes, those type of squashes, on tomato cages rather than on trellises. I just twist them around and around wherever they want to go. So that's those. On the other side of this bed are my crookneck squashes. Again, they're having the same problem where there's only female flowers, no male flowers. So we've been eating the little primordial fruits. I don't know what else to call them. And here's another one, another crookneck. And then over here are some cucumbers, and they haven't been doing well so far. I think it's because the weather hasn't warmed up until now. So this is the second day of warm weather, and according to the forecast, we should be having warm weather at least for the next 10 days. So that's nice. Hopefully that'll kickstart these. I think I'm going to give them some water and some fertilizer and see if that helps, and also pull out some of these weeds. So I believe one of them is an Armenian cucumber, and the other one, I don't know, it may just be a regular, you know, pickling cucumber. Alright, over here is my papaya dew, and I forget what kind of cucumber that is back there, but this is the papaya dew. It has like a little female flower on it. I don't know if there's, I don't see any male flowers, so maybe having the same problem. And then over here in this large tub is my Gallia melon. And with it is planted an Odorico tomato. So it looks like since they need the same nutrients, tomatoes and melons, cucumbers and whatnot are fine to grow together. Next to it is another one of these African jelly melons. I've been trying to train it to take this trellis, but it refuses. So I'll keep trying. But we'll see if it wants to cooperate. It seemed to love the mini blinds inside, so I don't know why it's not taking to this trellis. Over here in a bucket with another, I think this is another Orderco tomato, is my lemon cucumbers, and they're coming along nicely. Nice big leaves on it. Again, I planted these together because they get the same nutrition. And then finally over here, with respect to my melon and squash plants, are these, I'm not sure what these are. So I had a bunch of fruit in my pumpkins and spaghetti squash that went bad in my pantry because I waited too long to use them. So I threw them outside. And now I have mysteries. So don't know which ones are pumpkin, don't know which ones are spaghetti squash, and I guess I won't find out until they fruit up. So that's exciting. In between there, it looks like some potatoes are coming up. I guess I should pull those. And behind there, there's some artichoke. And in between there is basil. I think that's the cinnamon basil. And then over here, I transplanted my banana plant into a bigger pot. And on down here, some broccolis and cauliflowers. I'll put the shiso when it cools down over here. So about 2 o'clock, the sun is over here. The shade is over here, and I can go ahead and work. So I'll replant the shiso over here with the other herbs. Over here is the parsley, and hello. This is the parsley and the chamomile, which has started to flower. When do I get to eat this or drink it in tea? I don't know. I'll have to go read up on that, but it's flowering. And there's some dill and sweet marjoram down there. And then over here is the golden lemon balm, and then some other kinds of oh, the sticks have faded. I'm not sure what those are, but they're some sort of herbs. And then the tatsoi. So I cut most of this tatsoi back about 2 weeks ago to give to my mom, and it all grew back nicely. I'm surprised. And here's the mizuna, and this I also cut a lot of it off to give my mom, and it came back nicely. She says she loves it, so she's been stir frying it. And then over here, I believe that's a broccoli. And then over here are my beans. So I think these are the Kentucky pole beans. They're doing nicely. No beans yet. And I'm running out of pole space up here. I don't know what next to do. I don't know, do they double back down or something? I guess I'll see. And then some tomatoes that I've been going over the past few weeks. And then over here are my soybeans. They're doing pretty well. Some lingering onions. Some more of the bee balms. I think this is hyssop. Yep. And my poppies over here. Nothing's happening with them yet. They look kind of hungry. So maybe I should feed them. So one of the surprises in the garden has been this little plant here. And this is the Inca Jewels. And I thought the tomatoes were going to be small and grape sized. But look at these. Nice big paste tomatoes. It's too bad the plant is so sickly. So this is definitely a plant I want to try again to see if I can get a plant that's not so sickly. Because those are some nice sized tomatoes on a nice small plant. And then over here, this is my old-fashioned red. Look at that beauty. Oh, I hope she doesn't split. But it's a beautiful tomato, and my husband and I have our eye on it. And then over here are this nice cluster of bush steak tomatoes. Regular waiting rows as well. And then up here, say hi to my lady and her chick. I haven't named her chick yet, but it looks like she's only got one. Anyhow, they're very still. And they don't seem to mind me. But congratulations, my lady. We think the chick is about a week old. So powdery mildew wiped out my Italian ice and black cherry tomatoes. So I went ahead and replanted with new varieties of tomatoes. Hopefully they won't get wiped out. I'm not sure what happened, but all of those plants were planted from my seed, and it seems like every plant that I planted from the seed I saved has a powdery mildew problem. So I've decided that whatever seeds I've collected so far, I should probably not plant again. So over here, I think, oh, where's your stick? This is, a blush grape tomato and a pandarino. This is, I believe, another grape tomato, another pandarino. And over here is a Paul Robeson. So they're been out here for a couple weeks. Looks like the Paul Robeson's already got some flower buds on it, so maybe it's not going to be a very tall plant. This one too, the pandarino, also has flower buds. The marigolds, they're beautiful. I thought I didn't like marigolds, but they're turning out to be a favorite now. They're so pretty and textured and sunny. So over here we have more of the damage from the powdery mildew. So basically when I use the baking soda spray, if the leaf itself is covered in powdery mildew, it just kills the leaf along with the powdery mildew. So this is my black creme. It's got some good tomatoes on it. I don't know how much I'm going to get off of it though, because it is not healthy and it's still got powdery mildew going on up to here. And the same with the other one. This is also a black creme, but it hasn't produced a fruit yet. I'm tempted to get rid of it now and replace it with something else. This one is a pineapple tomato. It's got some fruits on it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm hesitant again to disturb it because my lady's over here and her little guy. And then over here, this is the Castroluto Genovese, and it's got some tomatoes on it, but again, it's suffering as well. So I think the idea now is to try to keep these plants alive until their fruits ripen, and then carefully, so as not to disturb the nest, remove the plants and replant here. The same thing is happening over here to this mystery plant. This is one that just came up in the garden. It turns out it's some sort of cherry tomato. But again, it's being ravaged by the powdery mildew. And then down here is little Chica, and the powdery mildew spread to her too. So, but she's got little fruits, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm guessing, something in the air, something in the soil, I don't know. I even have powdery mildew inside my house. So the tomatoes that I tried planting inside the house are affected as well, and I've started moving them outside because I just don't want powdery mildew building up in the house, so I can't even grow anything in there. So I really don't know what's going on, but I better figure it out. So my onions continue to be a bust. I pulled a couple, and they're not bulbing. One of them was edible, the other one was not. It had already started rotting. So, don't know. We'll see. Maybe in a month we'll know whether this was a bust or whether we have any success. So, keeping my fingers crossed. This is my second set of green beans over here. And, let's see. Do I know what kind of green beans these are? Yes, these are the French gold green beans. So they seem to be taking well to their poles finally. I had to put some wooden poles. They weren't really accepting these plastic coated ones. But once I put the wood poles up, they grabbed the wood poles and the plastic poles. So, so good so far. I imagine they'll go, if they keep growing taller, they'll meet up with the grapevine here and then start climbing that, which I don't mind. As long as the grapevine doesn't mind. It looks like it's starting to get some flower buds here. So hopefully that means beans soon. I would really like some beans. So another garden surprise over here is I thought that this banana plant here was a goner. But something nice happens when banana plants think they're goners. They send out daughter plants. So now we have a nice healthy daughter down there. I'm really happy because I was getting sad that I had lost this plant because we tried so hard to save it. So sooner or later I'll go ahead and cut this down and allow this daughter plant to take its place. So yay, I'm happy about that. Okay, so in this bed we have a bunch of things going on. So we have some new tomatoes in here. This first one is a Pantano, I think it's Rosso. And this one over here is another Pandarino. And this one over here is the Better Boy. So this is Reka. And the Reka over here has some really nice fruits on it. So this big one here, much bigger than the one we had last year. Some more fruits down here. So, well, there it is. And it's doing pretty well. Yeah, still the powdery mildew, but not as bad as it could be. This one over here is a Momotaro. So I got my Momotaro seeds from the Kitazawa seed company. So if you're looking for Asian varieties or Japanese varieties of tomatoes, go check out Kitazawa's website. Over here is the royal purple green beans. Now these are supposed to be bush, but I do see it climbing. So yeah. Anyhow. And what tomato is this? And then this one here. What tomato are you, my dear? Another Pantano Rosso. So that's what's going on in this bed. So over here, still have powdery mildew attacking everything. This plant here is very big and very bushy, full of flowers, no fruit. Same with this one. This one I thought had no fruit, and it's got some little fruits down there, so that's good. Otherwise, again, a lot of vegetation, a lot of powdery mildew. Over here is another Reka, and it's got fruits at the bottom. And looks like somebody's eating this guy, so let me pull it. And it's got more fruits coming up there. And this is the Anna's Russian. This plant always looks like garbage. And then it perks up once it gets warm, so it's got a fruit on it. Although this year the powdery mildew just might be too much for it, we'll see. And then over here is the Chadwick cherry. So there's some fruits here. There's some fruits at the bottom here. And the more I look into this bush, the more I find fruits, so that's good. And here's my corn. So this year I'm not growing Bilicious, I'm growing a 5-foot variety corn, and I didn't label it and I've forgotten what it's called. But anyhow, it's a 5-foot variety of corn. It's an early variety, so hopefully we'll have something. I don't think we're going to have anything by the 4th of July, but hopefully we'll have something in July. And then again, I planted it in this 3-foot diameter raised bed, cloth raised bed. Looking pretty good so far. I'm pleased with it. Here's the Atlas. It should be performing much better now that it's warm. Our strawberry lemonade tree, or pink lemonade tree, is putting out many fruits. They're really good. We've been having lemonade, also using it in marinades. I'm trying to straighten it out. That's slow, slow process, but I'm working on it. And then back here in the cool part of the yard, I think one's a broccoli and 2 of them are cauliflower. It looks to me like they're going Jurassic, so I don't expect any fruit off of these. Or I should say, not fruit, but flowers. And then over here are the pea experiment. So that seems to be going well. And then checking in on our small tomatoes. This is the Patio Princess. It has a ton of tomatoes on it. It looks like the ones here at the bottom are starting to blush. So they'll ripen soon. These will be the first of the big tomatoes. Over here, the Little Bites has a tomato that is probably ripe, but I'm going to give it a few more days to sweeten before I try it. The other plants are doing well. So this is a bush steak, and it's got a nice big tomato on it right here. Leaves are in front of that. Let's see. Yeah, nice big boy there. And the bush here, the super bush, it's still doing pretty poorly, but it looks like it's trying for another round of fruit at the top here. I guess I feel better if I had a sucker, but it doesn't have any suckers yet. And the Tasmanian chocolate is now spreading out. It's got some suckers. It's got some more flowers on it. I don't think it has a fruit yet. No fruit yet. But it is expanding, so that's good. And I think just the obligatory shot of the bananas here. That's all for the garden tour today. I don't want to talk too much about the peppers and everything because I just did a video on that. But things are going pretty well. I wish I could do something about the powdery mildew. But I guess I need to figure out what's going on. Okay, until next time.